Hello, my honeys. How are you? This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. It's been a minute, but I had a very busy week, but I'm going to try to catch up with some readings here for you all. And, I'm hearing from my spirit team, do some readings. We have messages to get out. So, yeah, pardon the delay, but if you have been supporting this channel, I just want to say thank you so much. I know that some of my friends from TikTok made it over here to like the channel. And yes, these are kind of longer readings than TikTok, but hopefully you get something out of them. And if you are brand new to this channel, if you won't mind either during or after you listen to your reading, if you could like this video, give me a thumbs up, or if you would consider subscribing to this channel and helping me grow the channel. It's just a couple of easy ways that you could support this channel and its growth. But either way, thank you for being here. Today's pick a card reading is a message from your Starseed teacher. And if you go to the very beginning of this reading, you're going to see a artist rendition of these Starseed teachers, and they just came through so powerfully when I was co-creating the art with the AI. And it's just like I put in this description of it, and it's like the AI got it perfect. So yeah, you can either choose your groups from one of those Starseed teacher pictures, or I'm going to give you a opportunity here to choose a group. And so this would be group number one, group number two, group number three, and group number 4. So take a moment. Some people might even like to use the timestamps, which will be in the description box below, as a way of picking their groups. But either way, see what group calls to you. It could be one, it could be more. You can choose to watch all of them. I really would appreciate that. So yeah, why don't we get directly into the readings? And again, thank you for joining me. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to the Black Dove Oracle. I am Kamara, and I will be doing your reading this evening, today, whatever time of day it is. So let's go to the card that you chose for the group. You may have used this or the timestamps or some of the art renditions. But group number 1, your card here says compassion. It says to be a witness, to release emotions, to transmute pain through love, to seek others' help, or seek to help others, actually. But I read that differently, which is interesting. And keep an open heart. What it says to me about you, pile number 1, that your Starseed ancestor wants to communicate to you, is that you've been through a lot. You're someone who may have felt like life was much more full of sorrow than it has been happiness and joy. And there's something about that in terms of this life that you've been living. I think you too have plenty to be grateful for, plenty of ways in which you were protected by the universe, protected by your ancestors. And there's just moments I think that you take out in your day to reflect on, really quite literally, some of you might use the word how lucky you are, how something greater than yourself has always looked out for you. Because maybe in the past you weren't sure that you could trust all of your choices And this lotus at the top of your head, the lotus is a flower so beautiful, but it grows from the mud. It grows from muddy, murky waters. And to have that above your third eye means to me that Spirit is saying in group number one that you are a person who, in many ways, could be psychic, highly empathic. But the way that you see and the way and how you see so clearly is because of those murky, sometimes dirty, sometimes I'm just using all the adjectives that are coming up here, sometimes really dark lessons that you've had to learn. They have actually illuminated your third eye, group number one. It's made you who you are today. But in many ways, lately, or if more often than not, Spirit is seeing you in your sadness, seeing you in your sorrow. For some of you, there are active tears that you have been shedding maybe in the last days, last weeks, last months. I'm not getting much more than from the summer for some reason. But Spirit has a message. Their starseed ancestors have a message for you. Let's turn over the rest of your cards here. We have the mist. Trust your inner compass, be led from within. And then we have the femme fatale. Highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Then we have the Nine of Wands. Very interesting. And then we have the mandrake root. Underneath that it says sensuality. Spirit is first pointing me to the mist, and also how it's linked to what we were just talking about, that lotus flower growing in murky waters. Your life group number one, this is your Starseed teacher starting to speak. Your life group number one, it has not been one that just had the standard path. One where someone would get educated, they would go to college, they would find some kind of mate, and then decide to grow a family, whether with human children or dog children or whatever. Like, there is somehow that kind of trajectory was never yours, group number one. There's always been a lesson that happened behind various emotions you have. There's a lesson that is behind your happiness. There's a lesson that's behind your joy. And there's a lesson that's behind your sorrow. And your starseed ancestor is saying that it is now, or it will become very clear to you, that the only way you can live this life is from within. Everything else that is outside of you, however you think it should look, should feel, should sound, you have learned, group number one, that the outer world offers very little, especially now in terms of authenticity. You will soon not be able to know who you are speaking to or why you're speaking. It'll just be all these interactions with computers, right? With simulated personalities from us until we become, you know, obsolete. I don't know why I'm hearing that tangent from your starseed teacher, but that's what it's saying. That right now you should fall back on more traditional ways of connecting with people, because your gift truly is in touch. Some of you, that might be your love language, or one of your love languages is touch. Some of you may be massage therapists or work somatically. You do something that has to do with the body. It could be any kind of healing modality to anything, but what I am seeing here is that you're a person who can heal with touch, who can heal with energy. Maybe some of you, most of you know that. I'm getting a few people, this is kind of like the first time they're hearing this. But your touch is a gift. And maybe you've always used it when it came to relationships, romantic interactions. Maybe that was when you would always use your touch, but your touch is more than that. Your Starseed teacher is saying that you are a gifted master of touch and all the energy that goes along with it. You are here. I'm hearing this. You are here because you have to reclaim touch as a sacred act. Touch has been manipulated, taken over by forces that don't want this earth to elevate. Touch has been utilized as a way to oppress people, harm them, and even, unalive them. And your special gift, group number 1, is somehow in the work that you do, because it's more than one person listening to this. It's in the work that you do, the touch that you provide, that you are going to stumble upon a method, a philosophy, a thought, a dream of liberation. So in group number 1, you're about to, you either are or about to do some deep work here around the body and healing. And what else Spirit is pointing out to me before I let it slip, some of you may even be in the sex industry, sex work industry, and Spirit is saying there is sacred work for you in this industry, because maybe you are breaking down walls of notions about who can express and have the gift of having safe sex. You know what I mean? Who gets to have those things without a worry? We all do. We should all be privileged to have the kind of touch we want on our bodies. We're privileged to be able to share our bodies when we want to, and not share our bodies when we don't want to. What a beautiful, empowered world, right? Where you don't have to be threatened bodily in order to be seen or heard. So there is something really sacred about the way that you think about any of the work that you do, whoever's listening to this. Any of the work that you do that has to do with the body, that has to do with the somatics of what you do. Spirit, your starseed ancestors, I'm calling them ancestors, they're ancestors and teachers. They're saying that you are already a master of this, that you are now in this timeline, this 3D, to wake up and remember. Because once you remember, all of this will flow back to you. And they're saying that your true gifts, if you're using them now at one level, you're going to see the gifts like expand and grow within you, where you're going to be tapping into like spiritual akashic record type of information in terms of your gifts. So group number one, this is really deep. It's just like they're saying you have something to do on this earth, something that has been demonized, something that has been used and taken out of context, contorted to leave marks of harm all over the world. And you are going to find a way for this to be transmuted. You're going to find a way either for people to start talking the truth about touch and using it in sacred ways, or you're going to be talking about just how we need to address that. There's something in here that your wisdom is going to offer a world that is deprived of safety and trust, and a lot of that has to do with the kind of touch people have experienced. So group number one, that's really beautiful work. I don't know if that was a long tangent, but your teacher is saying that you can only be the master of these experiences. You could only have showed up in this timeline with your own set of experiences. And, you know, they apologize for what they're calling entry experiences that are kind of part of building a core of who you are. Even though you are Starseed, you are also in the, the dress, the trappings of the Earthling. So you, Starseed, have to have Earthling experiences to begin to know the depth of what emotions and feelings are like, and how do you work with your emotions and your feelings, and how do you do this socially, how do you do this inwardly. So, you know, your Starseed teachers are saying you were not spared the lessons of the human experience. But Starseed, when you awaken to your gifts, that is when that human experience comes into context, and that is how you're going to be able to, they're showing me, like, merge the two knowledges, the cosmic knowledge and the earthly knowledge, because you have earthly knowledge as well. And it's like they're showing me that this is going to be like the only way that marriage, that integration of two kind of thought patterns could only be done by you, because you are Starseed and you are of the earthling experience. This is the first time I've ever heard any of the spirit world talk like this, you all. So, you know, your Starseed teacher is saying that for a few of you, maybe not everyone, because this mission is expressing differently, but the femme fatale, the mandrake, for many of you, this is about the reclamation of the divine feminine body, you know, the one that can transmute over genders, the one that can go deep into the dark of the earth and remain like fertilizer for the upper world, and the one that flies over the world, takes care of the world from her lactating breast. Like, you know, like there is that femme fatale energy that you, group number one, have been sent here. Some of you have been sent here as that reclamation of something that's alive in each and every person, regardless of their gender. There's something sexually alive in each and every person that is like it activates and contributes to the energy of this earth, to its healing. But because we have all spent, not all of us, but maybe quite a few of us, as well as our ancestors throughout many generations, have spent a conditioning that revolves a lot around the shame of the body, the copting of the sacredness of sex with commodified sex. And even though some people may participate in that as work that they do, I see that in group number 1, you also bring back the sacredness of this work. And maybe, Spirit is saying some of you know right now what I'm talking about, but you don't have to say anything because you might be in the incubation of your ideas, right? But it's like some of y'all are really going to help shift out I'm seeing shift the globe out of shame, patterns of shame, like patterns and behaviors that reinforce shame. Very deep. Okay, so let's go and see if there's any other messages that your Starseed teacher wants to give you, group number 1. Let's see. Queen of Pentacles. It's definitely when you realize this gift or even dive deeper into it, group number 1, or release any kind of shame around it. Wow, you have so much literal wealth coming to you, as well as I think for once in your career or work life, you are going to feel loved and held for the work that you do, for the wisdom that you bring forward. And many people throughout your life, probably in the past, group number 1 was trying to tell you how to do things right on the straight and narrow, or how to really be devoid of any authenticity to show up at work. You will remember those stories of people telling you how you had to do your hair, how you had to dress, how you had to talk, and you're going to reflect as all of this beautiful wine, which I symbolize just the love of your community, as that is filling your cup, you're going to understand how it was a pivotal moment. You had to make a choice. Am I going to believe this bullshit for the rest of my life? Or am I going to create the world that I want from the work that I'm passionate about, the things that I do that I know are not the everyday things that others want to do, but I am helping people. I'm healing people with touch. And for some of you, you know that touch goes in many directions. But this work, it becomes your sacred work. It's aligned with who you are as a starseed being, group number 1. Don't let anyone ever tell you it wasn't. Because look, there's the Hierophant in reverse. There's probably a lot of people who are going to try to talk you out of this blessing. Can you believe that, group number 1? I'm being sarcastic. The world. Yeah, they're not going to want you to go any further than what you're doing because it's starting to scare them. You're starting to understand your power. You're not ashamed of how you relate to others in this world. They wanted you to get off course or get distracted, and they probably tried a great many things. Yeah, they tried to slow down any kind of opportunities that were coming your way, and you had stuff coming towards you, but they would actually do their little thing to try to stop your progress, whatever that meant, because it didn't mean much of anything, did it? People, regardless of their roadblocks, people kept finding themselves coming back to you. They'd be like, oh, I know that person said this about about group number 1, but it's weird. Like, I'm finding myself back at their website, back at their social media presence. I'm there, I'm looking, I'm reading, I'm so interested and connected with what they're talking about. So like literally, group number one, your work, it's important in a number of different ways to show you that you can overcome being the victim and you can become the master. And Starseed is saying that that is where your message to global millions will come forward. Some of you might be afraid of what I'm saying, but no, you are going to have quite big audiences to discuss this deprogramming of shame, going back to our indigenous ways of relating to the body, which had nothing to do with shame. We had societies where women could walk around bare chest, wearing nothing if they wanted to, and they were not subject to violence. People respected each other's bodies. That's, that is why when the Europeans met them, they couldn't understand, and said they must be close to animals like savages. So it is all of this worldview that is shaped touch, going back to you, group number one, and you are going to be an advocate of some sort or activist of some sort, or just, not just, but a healer of some sort doing this work. And yeah, let's pick one card before we close out. Just one closing message. Starseed Ancestor. They said right here, dog. Protection from a powerful friend. I think they just, your teacher wanted to like close off by saying, don't be afraid, because of there being some people who are going to be making attempts. Your Starseed teachers showing me this. They're like attempts, not even the real thing, to try to slow you down. Out of all of this, you are going to meet someone who's very loyal to you, someone who will be a friend until the end of your earthly life. But that's the only way you were going to know a real friend, is that you had to experience these like really negative ones first. And when this person comes forward, it's like, whoa. For some of you, that might end up being a partner, but for others of you, or all of you, for sure, a good friend. Okay, group number one. That was the message from your Starseed teacher. I hope that you found it coherent and useful. If you have, would you please give me a thumbs up? And if you're liking the way that I read, please subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate your support. And if this is where we leave, I hope you have a good one. Take care. Hello, group number two. How are you? This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. Welcome to your reading, a message from your Starseed teacher. Now, group number two, you may have chosen this group a number of different ways. You may have chosen it from the artist renditions in the beginning of this video of the different Starseed ancestors, or you may have chosen this lovely, powerful image here, or you may have chosen from the numbers in the description box below for the timestamps. Either way, let's go with this picture, group number two. On the back of it, it says, fierce love. And let me read it for you in case you can't read it. Vulnerability is strength. Establish healthy boundaries. Love regardless of reciprocation. Have integrity in all interactions. Everyone is doing their best with the tools that they have. transmute fear into love. So group number 2, your Starseed teacher is not holding back. And I'm not going to hold you, because I think that this Starseed teacher is saying either you're currently in this process or you're getting ready to enter it, group number 2. You are learning how to love at the unconditional level. I'm seeing for some of you, and I'm going to say this really briefly. I know that readers do this a lot, but if you were interested in group number 1, there may be some connection there for you, because in group number 1, the Starseed teacher said that all of your humanly experiences that you came here with, experiences that were programmed for your humanly earthly delight, they were saying that those were necessary experiences, because how you are here to facilitate healing, facilitate change, group number 2, it couldn't happen if you don't know about these humanly earthly experiences, some very emotional, some very intense, others very traumatic. You had to know these experiences in order to communicate with the earth realm. Without those experiences, your words would sound fluffy. Your words would sound not practical. There's something about the energy of your words needing the backing of an earthly experience. And so for you, group number 2, your starseed ancestor is saying here that earth experience of having to realize and understand that without vulnerability in your life, without you being able to be vulnerable with the people in your life, the people you care and love about, there is something there that lacks strength, that lacks courage. And so you had to turn that around for yourself, group number 2, and understand that vulnerability is what makes you strong. Establishing healthy boundaries is what makes you more loving. And loving regardless of whether someone can give that back to you. For some of you, that has been a huge lesson, to learn how to give your love, even in cases where you know it's not immediately going to get back to you. It may not get back to you in this lifetime. Still, you give it. There's something so beautiful about your compassion, group number 2. You are a compassionate group. You all are what the Buddhists would call bodhisattvas. People who can live with that kind of love. The love that you and the kind of care that you give. It doesn't come with a price tag attached. It doesn't come with you owe me. Because I have a feeling, group number 2, you all are healthy too. So it's like you don't give what you can't give. I think that's where the boundary comes in. You've learned over time that because you can love without reciprocation, you can just give that love, you can give that care, but you had to learn about how to implement boundaries with that same kind of way of living, that same philosophy. And I think you've done it, group number 2. You have learned that when you give, you give. When you can't give, you can't give. And all of this is done in compassion. Because I think for you, just like you learned about yourself, group number 2, you believe this about others. Everybody's going to do the best that they can with the information they currently have in this moment. And I think group number 2, you live by that. You really believe in the inherent goodness of people. You just believe that sometimes they don't have the proper skills or the right information to do better. And I get with people that you care about, situations you care about. You are group number 2. Some of you might be a teacher. Some of you may be in some kind of leadership position. But whatever you do for work, I think whatever you do even outside of work, it's about teaching people, giving them the opportunity to have the information they need so they can make informed choices. I don't get that you're ever trying to convince people that the way you think is the right way, even though sometimes you might think that secretly. But you also want to give people the information so that they can be clear about what they believe. They can be clear about the impact of their choices. And in that way, group number 2, you transmute fear into love. You may be some kind of negotiator, or you may be some in work where you're doing a lot of advocacy or stakeholder talks. Whatever you do, group number 2, you carry these values, a certain value system with you regardless. Whether you're in work or in personal life, there's no difference of how you act. You are a person who wants to see the world become a community, a giant global community. We have King of Pentacles in reverse going to the rest of your oracle cards. We have immerse yourself. Spirit is saying put that over this King of Pentacles in reverse. We have Queen. And we have Dandelion, which is the wounded healer. Yeah, group number 2. King of Pentacles. When King of Pentacles is in reverse, there's something possessive about the energy. There's something of like this is mine. I've got to protect mine. And that can be material as well as people in your life, like very possessive kind of energy, always like kind of hanging on, kind of like a king and a 4 of Pentacles kind of thing. Like, I've got to protect all this. I'm obsessed with wealth and status. And there's some part in your life, regardless of gender, many of you had that King of Pentacles energy. Like, I'm going to make this, I'm going to save it, I'm going to do this and that. You had very strict, structured outlines for how your life was going to be. And then something came along to show you your wound. This dandelion is saying, yeah, you were shown in some way recently. Group number 2. I'm hearing for some of you, it might have been a plant medicine journey or some kind of ceremony, spiritual ceremony. You had an awakening, a spiritual awakening. And you realized where your wound was. Your wound was behind your heart. That's what your star teacher is communicating. That you were supposed to find this wound, group number 2. Sooner or later, and it was kind of like serendipitous, but you found that wound. It was behind your heart. I'm getting for some of you that the way that you may have related to people was much more of, what can they do for me? Is this going to be a relationship of reciprocity? What can you do for me? What can I do for you? There was kind of like it's not always a wrong thing for relationships, but for you, your Starseed teachers are saying they had to bring you out of that. Because your work here on this earthly realm is around the heart. And they were recognizing how your material life was starting to suffocate your heart energy. And so group number 2, your Starseed teachers are saying, no, we need your heart up front. We need your heart illuminated. And there was something that began to happen, something that was cracked open when you saw your wound, group number 2. You transmuted a Chiron illness, one that would close you off from your heart because you had to be secure and safe in your material life. And maybe some of you, I'm hearing, grew up, had the experience, were put in family situations where the struggle was real. There may have not been daily meals. There may have been a situation in which your livelihood, just the ability to have a home, food, care, it was always kind of like put in fragile situations. And so group number 2, that was the earthly experience you were placed here to have because you had to transmute out of that. Some of you did really well in school. You might have gone and gotten advanced degrees. You may be in some kind of like really good career. And it's funny because your Starseed teachers are saying, no, as much as you want to think that career happened because you went to college, no. They're saying behind this career, even the career you're doing right now, it needs your heart energy. Yes, you arrived at this position of leadership, this position of being a teacher of some sort, group number 2. But now you are going to learn through the help and assistance of your Starseed teacher how to merge these two powers. You are not here just to be put into a position to be comfortable in this earthly plane and reap your material successes. Your Starseed teacher is saying, no, you are given leadership position because your heart energy is now going to come forward and be the instructor. You are now, regardless of your gender, stepping into the Queen. The light attribute of the Queen, group number 2, is that of the regal feminine, a benevolent authority to protect others. So you went from an upside down kind of king masculine toxic kind of energy. The toxic masculine, we all know, right? It's the one that we will create and we will have greed at all cost, at cost to everyone, humanity, the animals, the earth. Like we will do that, right? And you shift all the way over to the Queen, upright, benevolent leader, a person who's going to protect now the earth, protect vulnerable groups, protect this whole entire realm. It's big, right? Group number 2, it's big orders. But your Starseed teachers are saying your heart is going to lead the way. Your heart is the goal in all of this. And if you allow for yourself, group number 2, to begin to immerse, meaning you are going to start to train yourself. You're going to start to learn. You are going to start to take on new hobbies that are going to enforce this passion that you have in life. Because this passion in your life, it's why you're here. It's almost like that part when you're a sleeper agent for so long, and then Spirit is like, I'm shuffling these cards, y'all. And then Spirit is like, no, it's time for you to wake up. Wake up from your little dream. It's screaming the Matrix. I was thinking about the Matrix movie this morning, the very first one. But it's screaming like, no, now you're waking up. Now you're understanding. We've got this Knight of Cups here. Now you're understanding what true wealth is, what true love is. It all came because you allowed for the tower to shake up your life, group number 2. You allowed yourself to emerge out of the cocoon of your previous life. And now you are coming into a life that is purely one of love, of community. It's all here for you, group number 2. It's part of your destined life. Spirit said to take this card upright. You've got the Fool. Only in being that Fool can you, allowing yourself to just lean into new experiences, to allow yourself to be led. I keep hearing that word. And this was about that 2 of machetes, 2 of swords. You finally making the decision to let your life change. Not fighting change. And understanding that in the end, with this 4 of Pentacles, you still retain what means the most to you. Your love, your ability to love, your ability to help people transition their lives, your ability to be a wise mentor to people. You have this now. And you're starting to see the value of these gifts, group number 2. Look at that. You're the star. And you have come out of a situation where you feel like you had to be weighed down by a lot of obligations that don't matter. And now, look, 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles. Your life is full circle. It's really where you want it to be. You've got family, friends around you, people who truly care, people who are true salt of the earth, folks, down to earth, who aren't afraid to hear the story of your path. It's a beautiful one. It's one that has been of challenge. It's one that's been of great lessons that have had to be learned, group number 2. We know this. And those around you, who will not only see you in your glory, because there's going to be plenty of people who see you in your glory only. They do not know the journey that it has taken to be here. They do not know. Spirit wants me to show this card. They do not know the medicine in which you've had to take, regardless of its bitterness, and transmute your life, group number 2. So that is the message from your Starseed teacher. They said, we're just here to remind you of your mission, group number 2. And right now, I'd like to ask you a favor. If you've resonated with any part of this reading, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, and if you would consider subscribing to this channel, I would love it. If you click that bell, you're going to get notified of all the different readings I upload going forward. If this is where we part, I really enjoyed being your reader for today, and I hope that you will comment below if something did resonate with you. Thank you, group number 2. Take care. Hello, group number 3. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. Thank you for allowing me to be your reader for this pick a card on a message from your Starseed teacher. So you may have chosen this group a number of different ways. There's an artist's rendition of the Starseed Teachers in the beginning of this video. And you may have chosen from this image here. Or you may have chosen by the timestamp numbers in the description box below or some other way. So just thank you for being here. And before we get started on the reading, I'm growing a new channel here. And the more subscribers I get, it allows me to grow this channel and begin to do live readings. So if you are, after listening to this reading, if you really like the way that I read, please consider subscribing to this channel and giving me a thumbs up. I really appreciate your help in a simple way in helping me grow this channel. I appreciate it. So group number 2, you pick this card. Being surrounded by a lot of different doves. It says on the back, liberation. You are free. Let go of limitations. Emancipate your spirit. Clear your mind of burdens. You are held in grace. Group number 2, your Starseed ancestor. They're showing me right now your path. The path that you have taken quite intentionally to be free. They're kind of showing me like underneath many goals that you have, your ultimate goal, there's some goal that you've always even held on to, as maybe I'm seeing someone in their early teens, of someone who wanted to live life free. Maybe you grew up in a household, or you grew up around people who were always sacrificing their authentic way of being for some kind of lofty ideal. You've seen people slave over different jobs and careers. You may have had parents who worked really long hours to achieve some kind of goal, like to stay, what is that expression? To keep up with the Joneses. You may have seen people in your family go broke because of trying to keep up an image, or people just, friends of your family. There's a lot of ways in which they're showing me you've seen people become bonded to a kind of life they feel would make them happy. Some of you may have even come from pretty well-to-do families, situations, or, pretty like a upper class kind of family situation where you saw some people with money, you saw some people struggling to get it, but you also saw what it took for people to play a certain kind of role. And maybe for you, group number 3, you made up your mind a while ago that if you're going to do something, you're going to do it because you love it. If you're going to marry someone, you're going to marry them because you love them. If you're going to buy something, you can buy it because you can afford it. There's just something really practical about you, group number 3. And let's see what else your Starseed teacher wants to point out here with the rest of your cards. You have a Knight of Cups in reverse. You have into the unknown, underwater depths, courage, facing your fears. You have the medicine of angel trumpet. Sorry, I'm trying to get these in the camera too. Which is the card of death. Very interesting. And then characterize, you have the saboteur. The saboteur. We'll go over the light and shadow attributes in a minute. So you have the card of liberation. And next to it is the Knight of Cups in reverse, right? It's kind of interesting, this Knight of Cups. In some ways, it's pointing to an energy of maybe in the past you were not so realistic about what it would take to live your life in freedom. Freedom's like an interesting word, right? And for many people, it can mean different things based on their life experiences, and the environment they're living in, their access to privilege. So for you, living free, I felt in the beginning, group number 3, you might decide as well, if you came from a situation where there was plenty of money, you might have tried to say, well, I want to be in a situation where I don't use that money, or I don't take advantage of my family's wealth. Like, these are just examples, but you could have been in that situation. Another way to look at this, like Knight of Cups, when Knight of Cups is in reverse, there's a sense of kind of being, I don't know, just a little bit more, I want to say, fragile with your feelings, insecure, always having a feeling that you are kind of bound, or your emotions are connected to what others are doing and saying. And I think group number 3, you had to grow out of a lot of that. You had to grow out of the thought of, for some of you, this is coming through that if you had a well-to-do family, some of you didn't want to upset them due to your inheritance. Like, that's just one or few people. Others of you, you were really looking at denying your inheritance, denying your lineage, because to you it felt so out of alignment. Maybe what people did for a living in your family, or how your parents might have earned their living. That was something that brought shame upon you, group number 3. It might have been, and take it where it resonates, you all. You could have had very quote unquote successful parents working for companies that were kind of like not so environmentally friendly. That's just an example. Or vice versa. You could have parents that really didn't have like a steady job and kind of did many things to piece their lives together. And maybe for you, that was something that you didn't have a lot of pride in. Whatever the reason here, group number 3, it's more about what you thought was going to bring you freedom and liberation. And at one point in your life, your Starseed teachers are saying that you might have thought of your freedom as just financial freedom. You didn't really think beyond that. And they're saying that now that you are changing, that you are starting to look at something's happened in your life, or some real, because this angel trumpet is really speaking to a deep change that's getting ready to be realized, a change that's going to put you into the unknown depths here, group number 3, because it's talking about underworld, the courage that it takes to really face your fears. This is not a time, your Starseed teachers are saying, to sabotage yourself, to engage in self-destructive behaviors, or seek to undermine others just because you can. There's something here for some of you around a family situation. Maybe you are going to inherit something. Maybe you are in line to inherit something. Whatever it is, group number 3, I think your Starseed teachers are saying to operate in discernment. Some of you could receive an inheritance, and that inheritance has no strings attached. You can take that money that once was made doing things that you don't even approve of. You could take that money and you could transmute the energy of that money. You could transmute the energy of which that money was made and begin to give it away to projects that would counter all of the things that was created by the energies that created that money. I hope I'm making sense. Like your Starseed teachers are saying, you could do a lot with that money that's good. You can donate it to causes. You could feed people. You could educate people with it. So it's just their thought, but there's something there where they're saying, if you throw that out, it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's almost as if you are not seeing like how you can transmute the energies of something that a few generations did with their money. You can change that. And you can change it far quicker than someone who has no money, who doesn't come from the networks that you come from. I don't know why this reading is becoming very specific, but it's something of like, whoever you are, group number 3, you have some kind of privilege. It may not be monetary only. It might be something else. Spirit is also showing me somebody with privilege of just like networks of people that you know. Someone else has the privilege of already being in a certain sector, already working somewhere. Your tarot cards, you have the Knight of Machetes in reverse. Another Knight in reverse. What else, Spirit? You have the 9 of Swords in reverse. And now you have the 6 of Machetes. A lot of air quality here. A lot of logical thinking that you've been doing lately. Thinking in general. Yeah, we have the Justice card at the bottom of the deck. So you're making decisions here. That you hope are balanced, that you hope that, because when I look at this Justice card, it's like you hope that you can hold in the balance truth as well as imagination, right? There's this art piece that this being is holding, as well as the sword. It's like, can you be creative with also how the world gets to experience the facts, the logic? There's something here, group number 3, where once you are able, because you've got this Knight of Swords in reverse, once you're able to kind of slow down, because upright, this Knight of Swords is like one of the fastest. It's like coming in impulsive, ready to do whatever. And it's like, I think once you are able to slow down your own process, not be in a rush, the urgency for who, and to start to like really sit with yourself and clear your mind, not to be reactionary to things, and to come up with a strategy. Because you know what? The Six of Machetes, sometimes this card, it says to me someone had a plan and they acted on it. And in acting on it, they moved themselves out of harm's way. Six of Swords is like you are deciding where you want to go, how you want to go, when you want to go. There's a certain power that I'm seeing in this card for you, group number 3. You are going to decide under your own strategy, under your own discernment, how you are going to move forward with the power that you do have, with the networks you do have. It's a very, your Starseed teachers are saying this is pivotal for you. Your Starseed teachers are saying, look at that. Immediately, you have the Queen of Swords. You see how this Queen of Swords takes the knife and puts it down in the book. There is going to be a way in which you are, you're not only tapping into the laws of this 3D, you're tapping into the laws of the universe. You have the Devil card here, Miss Robinson. But I love how in this rendition she's at the funeral home already, and you've already got right the angel trumpet talking about death. There is going to be such a change in you, group number 3, that when people are like, "Wow, you're different from the people you were brought up around, or you're different from the people that I used to associate you with. You've changed the game." And in doing that, you have this Fathers of Knives in reverse. There may be someone in your family who identifies as male or has a lot of masculine energy, who is in this King of Swords reversed kind of energy. This is someone who kind of misuses their power. This is someone who kind of can be controlling, even like a dictator, ruthless. You may end up, but because look, what's between the both of you is the devil. And you've got yourself, because I'm seeing this as you, the Queen of Swords with an up-down King of Swords. To me, this means already that if this was a situation in which you are married or partnered with someone, and this change comes about, it is going to change your life. And this change is not going to allow for you to hang on to an upside down spouse. Now, your spouse is upside down. They're still the King of Swords. So, when I see an upside down king or queen, they still very much hold the power of this position, but they misuse it. And so for you, what's in between there is that it's either you and a father figure or an uncle figure or even a husband. If we want to get real cis het here, I really see like a man and a woman who are in conflict. because the way that you want to live your life, the way that you are moving forward in your life, the kinds of changes that you are making in your life, group number 3, they do not align with this person in your family. It could be a partner, spouse, family member. But the only thing that's between the both of you is the devil. And in this case, I think the devil is representing how you all really believe in the ownership of things, how you spend money, how you do things. You are in direct opposition to someone who wants to just, I don't know, throw away money, and you're trying to do something serious with it, group number 3. Yeah, there is nothing but swords here. We've got the Mother of Baskets in reverse. You know what I'm seeing too? It's like this person is, trying to put you into some kind of like weak emotional state with this Queen of Cups in reverse, but it's not working. It's almost as if they're trying to say, group number 3, they are really kind of just, they're trying to spread rumors about you being insecure, you being fragile or very sensitive or self-centered with how you want to move forward with something that you're now in charge of or now that you have possession of. And you're like, no, I'm going to use this the way that it should have been used. I'm going to give back to situations where I know people were hurt and harmed, and I'm going to do that in such a way. You've got the railroad here, which is the Chariot. It's like I'm going to move in such a way that I am in control of the outcomes of the many blessings this money or privilege or network could afford others. There's something about you being really dedicated to the work that you are either in the process of doing right now, group number 3, or you will be. Quill. Getting back to the basics. That could also mean to me that some of you might be writing something, a book, an instruction manual. You might be doing a workshop. Storks, news of a birth or a news business. Yeah, see, there's going to be like a business opportunity that comes your way. There's going to be different opportunities coming your way. For some of you, I don't know why I'm getting a memoir. There could be something that you are doing that this privilege is going to really give you honor and respect, especially on how you turned around a negative, something that has to do with your lineage, and you made it positive now. You are contributing in the right places. And you may travel doing this, speaking on this. Whatever you're doing, group number 3, it's part of your Starseed mission to turn a historical wrong around. Like you were born into this family so that their power could no longer crush global communities. I just heard that. Whatever, that's very specific for someone, but you were born into that family to dismantle its really evil. And I don't know why I heard that word evil. It's evil doings. Some of you may come from a family that has a company or something. Yeah. The crib here, I mean, sometimes it just means a literal child, but I think you're going to give birth to a brand new way of doing business in whatever sector this is in. Like, just take, for example, say your company, your family's company always created a lot of waste. You're going to be the one that comes out and it's zero waste all of a sudden. That's just an example. But really, that's what I'm getting from your Starseed Teachers, is that you should not deny the reason why you're here, group number 3, especially when it comes to your family. Some of you have just want to walk away and disavow them, but your Starseed Teacher is saying, no, there's a way that you can leverage all that's available to you to turn something around. So group number 3, some of this was very specific, but if you resonate with any part of this reading, it is a general reading. Can you put it in the comments below? If you could, can you give me a thumbs up for the reading? I really appreciate your assistance in growing this channel. If you like the way that I read and want to hear more, please subscribe to this channel and click that bell so that you get notified when I upload new readings. Otherwise, if this is where we part, group number 3, I'm looking forward to your contributions in the shift of humanity. Thanks so much. Take care. Hello, group number 4. I'm Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. I'll be your reader for this pick a card on messages from your Starseed Teachers. Now, group number 4, you may have chosen this group a few different ways. One through the artist rendition that's at the beginning of this reading, or you may have chosen your group from this card, or you may have chosen using the timestamps in the description box below. But let's go with this card for a minute. So you chose this card, group number 4. It has a being surrounded by all these beautiful, lovely colored cobras. I'm really into the snake thing. And this cobra is even like illuminating some kind of kundalini at the top of this being's head. What it says on the back is authenticity. Release self-doubts. Embrace challenges. Embody your uniqueness. You are perfect as you are. Choose your own path. Have courage. Group number 4, I really do sense from your Starseed Teachers that that is the essence of the message that is coming towards you. In group number 1, there was this discovery from the Starseed Teacher of group number 1 that whatever earthly experiences that you are coming into understanding, that you are healing from, those are directly linked to your Starseed mission, to your Starseed purpose, group number 4. So when I read the back of this, I really get a sense that your Starseed Teacher is saying, as long as you have been really paying attention to your authenticity, how you're showing up, whether one-on-one, within the family, within a community, it's important. It's how you are confident lately. It's how you're embracing change. It's how you are allowing for yourself to be unique among a group of people in which there might be a lot of, how do I want to say this? A lot of groupthink. I think you are okay with standing out from the rest, out and above, I'm hearing, from the rest. And to understand that your path, your particular path, group number 4, it has to do with being brave enough to follow it. You have to be brave enough to follow this path. It's unique to you. This is what I'm hearing from your Starseed Teacher, group number 4. This path is only for you. It will not look like other people's path. That's what I'm hearing. You have ride the wave. You have the Tower in reverse. Interesting. You have the Vampire. Interesting. And then you have Skullcap as your medicine. Stillness. Your Starseed Teacher is bringing my attention to this card. It says, ride the wave, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Group number 4, Your Starseed teachers are saying that the experiences that you've had in this earth realm, they have been nothing but lessons. And that if you sit carefully with yourself, and maybe some of you have, people can be in different stages while they're watching this reading. It is a collective reading. But I think you're starting to see the pattern. When there's a big change in your life, there also are big lessons, big realizations. They're saying something right now that you feel is like a big, huge change in your life, something that's causing you to kind of need to let go and release and just kind of ride the wave of whatever's happening in life. They're saying this is not a huge tower moment for you. In fact, group number 4, it's going to be something of, it's going to be a significant change, but it's not going to be a life-changing change. They're saying that the change that's happening to you, it's actually having you, it's going to give you opportunity to be in your medicine, which is that of stillness. They're really speaking right now to a few of you in group number 4 of needing to strengthen your rest game, your ability to relax. That stillness is what's actually going to bring you forward into how you need to handle a situation that right now might feel like it's uprooting you, that is challenging you. But right now they're saying the way to get ahead of that is to go within. If you meditate, and I know people will be like, oh God, I'm being told to meditate again, but really it's going to slow down your mind. It's going to help you to ground, group number 4. And a problem that you might think of as a tower problem, actually you're going to see it as something that you can resolve in a number of days. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. Because some of you, I'm hearing right now that because you got this vampire card, and Spirit's bringing me to the shadow parts, which is depleting others for your physical survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. I think for some of you this is about getting out of vampiric energies, maybe around you, because Spirit is pointing to the back of this card. Your authenticity, when you're finding that when you are not truthful with other people about like who you are, how you live your life, group number 4, you get into situations where you are literally food for vampires. I am not even kidding you. There's a way in which you have a real grace about you. You're able to be kind to anyone, any walk of life. I really kind of get that. There was another group like this where it just said, knowing that people act from what information they have at the current moment. That's either in group 3 or it might be in group 2. But what I want to say here is that I think you're able to be kind and present with most people. You may even have a job that involves that, like being a counselor or some kind of like person who helps people out in the kind of work that they do. You have to listen to people to help them, right? You don't listen to them, you can't help them. So there's a way in which I think you bring this even into your personal life, group number 4. You're a good listener. People want to use you as a therapist, or they want to bring their problems with you to you because they know that you're so wise. But what it's becoming is a dumping ground with this vampiric, and your Starseed teachers are saying you're not a dumping ground for people's problems and challenges, especially if they're not actively working on changing those challenges. And there's a few codependent relationships in your life, group number 4, that your Starseed teachers are pointing to. They're like, no, this is not part of your work. These people are not your assignment. I'm hearing that loud and clear. These people are not your assignment, group number 4. Like, your assignment is to be in your authenticity, because that is your work. That's the key to your purpose here for your Starseed mission. Yeah, you've got Ten of Pentacles in reverse here. You've got the Moon. I don't know why I was hanging on to this. And you've got the Knight of Cups. You know, Ten of Pentacles, it's just like sticking out to me right now. Or it's actually the Nine of Pentacles, sorry. It's like the way that they write this, I always think like it looks like a 10, but it's actually a Nine of Pentacles. When that is in reverse, it's almost as if there's some kind of instability or perceived instability. There's a way in which you're feeling like I don't have enough to be the person I want to be or to live the life I want to live. But you're actually in a Nine of Pentacles. It's just reverse. Sometimes reverse means it's our perception, group number 4. Our perception of where our power lies, our perception of whether or not we are a victim to our circumstances. Because when the Nine of Pentacles is upright, there's this sense of like everything in your life is in alignment, it's in symmetry, all of your needs are taken care of. You are even seen as just an energy that people want to be with. But when you're upside down, it's almost as if you don't see your blessings, that there's a lack of gratitude. There's something happening here that with this Moon card you don't see. Something you're not paying attention to. And look, it's this Knight of Cups. For some of you, this is actually a relationship. This is someone who could be a partner to you. It doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship. It could even be a partnership. But this person, they're looking the other way. They're taking their cup slowly the other way. And this person with the Nine of Pentacles is missing out because they're in the reverse. This is so interesting. Like you don't know that this person has a cup for you because you are so worried about your pentacles right now. You're so worried about either something that's happening in your work life. Yeah, the Chariot's in reverse here. We've got the Star in reverse. And we've got the Six of Machetes right underneath that Knight of Cups. You don't want to miss something, group number 4. Your Starseed Teachers are telling you this right now. You have an opportunity. Ace of Cups right at the bottom of the deck here. You have an opportunity, but you're missing something. There's a way in which you are not moving. You are not taking action on something. You are not coming up with a strategy for your next endeavors. You're stuck somehow. And it's preventing you from being in the light you need to be in. It's almost as if your Starseed Teachers are like, you're supposed to be well known right now. You're supposed to be out there doing this work. Something is stopping you. You're not looking in the direction of opportunity. An opportunity is slowly getting ready to leave the shore. Six of Machetes. Opportunity is slowly getting ready to take off. This could mean, quite literally, someone is missing a plane. Someone's missing a trip somewhere. Something is like you are getting invited somewhere and you are not on the ship. You are not in your seat, group number 4. I don't get that you know how big of an opportunity this is. Something that you might have said, I just don't have time to do. I don't have the money to do it, or I don't have the time to do it. You're missing out on something. Spirit is quite literally saying this is not going to cause you the tower you thought it was going to cause. This is not going, you're missing out on something, and you need to turn that around for yourself. Let's see what else Spirit is saying here. What else, Spirit? For group number 4. Oh, those just fell out. Okay, you have a 6 of baskets, 6 of cups in reverse. You have a 7 of knives upright. You have a mother of baskets, which is a queen of cups. And then you have the tower again in reverse. Okay, group number 4. Someone from the past. With the 7 of knives, someone from the past you shouldn't be trusting. Someone from the past who likes to show up as a queen of cups, but they actually don't really care. Someone from the past has something to do with you not taking some action. Either they are a distraction for you right now, or they're trying to distract you from something that they actually want. There's an opportunity here, group number 4, and your Starseed ancestors, teachers are saying you need to refocus. You need to become alert. Horseshoe, yeah, because when you do, you're going to experience what you think is good luck. It's really like, oh, wow, we're glad that you're back on track and focusing on what you need to. That's the spirit world. Yeah, keep yourself in balance here. There is something that is either distracting you or taking your attention away from a good opportunity. Teardrops, yeah, you're going to be highly disappointed if you hear about this opportunity and you didn't go for it. But again, be careful, whoever this is, because it says dog close up. You know, dogs are usually indicating a loyal friend, but in this case with that person, I'm going to say they're going to try to distract you by saying, oh, let's go out tonight, or oh, let's do this, or you can wait to submit that application. I know that you'll have more time, but we need to go have fun. Like, this person is trying to distract you from something with other things that they're saying, oh, this is going to be fun. And they're trying to take you away from something that you really do need to be aware of. Also, some of you are kind of in an illusion about who this person is. I think underneath, you know, they're not a good friend to you or a good mentor or confidant, but there's something that maybe some of you are giving this person a chance. I don't think you really need to. Your guides are pointing to this purple card. Let's see. Yeah, November. That could be the deadline of something. November could be something that you acted on that you need to follow up with now. November could also be something about this person showed their true face in November, and you really need to pay attention to something they showed you or told you in November. Whatever it is, November is kind of like being called for you to reflect on it. That's why I figure it's November of last year, because I'm filming this in January of the new year. It is a timeless reading, but yeah, that's what I have for you, group number 4. Your Starseed teacher is saying get more focused on what it is you want to do. Make sure all your dots and I's and T's are crossed, especially when it comes to maybe a contract, some paperwork you were reading in November, something that happened in November you need to follow up on. And then also not let someone who's actually just not a really good friend distract you from the things and the goals that you have. There is something here about you being grateful for all of what you've accomplished, and to know that whatever change is coming in your life, ride the wave of it. If it's giving you more space because you don't have as many clients, use that space to plan for your future goals. Nothing is, I'm being told, nothing is something, there's no situation in which you can't make good use of it. That's what I'm hearing for you, group number 4. So if any of this resonated with you as a reading, that would possibly be of help to you, please give me a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If you really like the way that I read and want to hear more, I would love if you'd subscribe to this channel and also click that bell, because then you'll get notified when I upload new readings. If this is where we part, group number 4, I am wishing you well, and I know that you are going to get back on track because something big is happening for you, and it needs your attention. Okay, take care, my honeys.